How to properly and safely stretch your tongue. First thing is you need something to gently hold your tongue with. You can use paper towel. I like to use 2x2 dental gauze just because it's a lot more comfortable on the tongue. Definitely would not recommend using tissues or toilet paper though. Okay, so you're gonna stick your tongue out wide and flat, and you're gonna use your materials to grab about halfway back or a little further back on the tongue. Now, if you hold the tongue that far back, you actually don't really need to move it very much in order to get a stretch sensation in the muscles in the back of the tongue. The stretch might only be like a millimeter sensation, and you want to make sure you follow the natural curve or the natural arch of the tongue, rather than, you don't want to like pull the tongue straight out. We definitely don't want that. And on that note, the stretch should not at all feel under the tongue. Under the tongue, you have some attachments to the floor of your mouth, such as the frenulum. That little flap thing under the tongue, we are not stretching that. That would be very painful. The sensation of stretch really should just be the back, the sides, the top of the tongue. 3 sets of 30 seconds seems like a good fit for most people, but of course you should modify that as needed. Other modifications include how much you move the tongue. So you could try a gentle side to side motion. Sometimes we can get a deeper stretch sensation if we do a gentle breath in through the mouth as we're doing this, because that helps to stretch the palate away from the tongue. Big thing to pay attention to is how much stretch does your tongue like. Some people do really well with just holding the tongue and not moving it at all. Some people actually really like the sensation of a deep stretch in the tongue. Again, as long as you're not stretching underneath the tongue, it should be relatively safe to explore this and figure out what works for you. The other thing to watch out for this is once you've held on to your tongue, make sure that your jaw feels like it's in a neutral position and that it's not jutting forward or something as you stretch your tongue, because that can feel really terrible on the jaw. And you're going to want to make sure your head is over your shoulders and you're not coming forward with your tongue. So again, this is the proper position. Now, there are some people that this really might not be a good fit for based on certain predispositions that they have. And so if this applies to you, you'll want to be extra cautious if you try this out. Those contraindications potentially include someone with hypermobility. Now, I've had many clients with hypermobility who have really liked tongue stretches. They just have to be very careful not to overstretch. It is possible though that, the tongue provides a lot of stability potentially to the body. And so if you're someone who's hypermobile, it just might not be a good fit for your voice and for your body. Other one is for TMJ. Again, I've had a lot of clients with TMJ that actually stretching the tongue helps to relieve muscle tension in the jaw because everything is connected. But I have also had some clients with very severe TMJ where stretching the tongue actually just didn't feel good on the jaw.